Welcome to the All Need Music Podcast. I'm Matt,
I'm Jesse.
and we are back again.
For another one.
Absolutely. So tonight we are going to. Do I get a drum roll?
Is it tonight? I mean, even though we're recording at night, these people might be watching it in the morning.
Yeah, true. On this episode,
there you go.
I didn't hear any drums. Yeah, it's not picking up any drum noise at all. That like noise canceling thing really works.
Can I get some hi-hat in my ear? I ain't got no hi-hat.
Any rate,
how about that?
No, nothing. The noise reduction is solid.
Wow. All right. Well,
so we're going to talk about a dude that I tell you what is absolutely phenomenal in my book. Voice is something, you can't even put anything really on it, but I would, if I had to compare it to somebody, I would give it like a Randy Travis, Josh Turner kind of feel, maybe.
Turner for sure is what I was thinking, but yeah, absolutely.
And his name is none other than Josiah Siska.
Siska, not Sitka, by the way.
Right.
I tried to call him Sitka, but it's Siska.
Yeah, it is.
We'll get this one right.
Yeah,
at least I will.
I've been calling him the right name. Nice try.
Yeah. I mean, I will this time. I'll get it right this time.
So some of you guys might know the name. Admittedly, I'm not a huge like Idol or, The Voice kind of fan. I'll watch some here and there if there's somebody I'm really digging. I've kind of gotten into it a few times, but by and large, I like the beginning of the show when they have people like me or you on there that are like, everyone tells me I'm so good. I'm a great singer. And then it's like, and it's like, whoa, somebody lied to you.
Your mom lied to you.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
You sang at that bat mitzvah and they lied to you that you were good.
Yeah. Nobody actually thought you were. No. Those are kind of like the best to me of those kind of things. But Josiah was on season 15 of American Idol. And did not go very far at all. I think he went out like as soon as they went to Hollywood, pretty much like the first round in Hollywood, I think he went out, which doesn't mean diddly squat to me because very few Idol winners really amount to anything. There's only a handful of them that have.
And at the time too, so it was like, it's really hard as a very young person to break through all the way. So
right. But since that time, he's definitely done, to me, a hell of a lot better.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did not do my homework and go back and watch his American Idol performances. But I don't even really care, like, how he did with the Idol because in my eyes, if I would go back and watch his performance, obviously they saw something that we're not seeing because if you put him on Idol right now, he'd be the winner for sure. Like,
yeah, I'm pretty sure I seen an interview with him before where he like totally admitted that he botched it, and they actually did him solid by not airing that portion of it. It was just kind of like, oh, he went home. He was like, yeah, if they would have shown it, it would have been bad. It's like, my group did this song and it was like choreographed and the song. And he's like, I, picked the song basically that we were going to do and then totally screwed it up. And he's like, there was 4 of us. The other 3 went on and they sent me home. It was like, oh, that sucks. But he owned it and was like, I know I did horrible. Like, it's fine. So Uh,
Well, and I've seen too that it seems like it I mean, and I'm not a big idol watcher either. Like you said, I'll watch it here and there if it's on. Like I'll listen to a few people, but I don't follow it like every single week.
right.
Um, but it seems like what I have seen in the past on it, Idol, that when you have a very deep, sharp voice like he does, like a Randy Travis or a Josh Turner, it seems like people kind of shy away from it. They want like this booming power Kelly Clarkson, voice type, with the big pipes, and he's more, that slow and steady, you know.
Yeah,
So
you're even
I
horrible at that. Your mom lied to you.
I can imagine.
I said your mom lied to you. So, after Idol, he had signed with oh man, I don't remember what the name of the company was, but Mark Miller from Sawyer Brown was tied into them somehow and mentored him for a bit after Idol, which you can't go wrong with someone like you know the lead singer from Sawyer Brown saying, "Let me take you under my wing and teach you a thing or two."
Worst people out there to be a mentor.
Right. So, he probably got and it's I get it. It's going to not be like everybody's cup of tea, right? Like we get that all the time with the So You Think You Know country music where
Sure,
I mean I've
sure.
literally I had somebody in the comments on one of those on a Randy Travis video that was like that's not country music. And I responded to the guy and I was like, "Can you honestly like tell me with a straight face that Randy Travis is not country music?" I I don't know how you could do that and still look at yourself in the mirror.
Some of the new country music that I've been doing on there, then when they're like, "Yeah, that's not country music." Like, okay, yeah, I get that because I don't believe some of the new artists out there are real country people, and it's not really country music. It's the new country. But yeah, Randy Travis, come on.
Well,
I mean,
I mean, the funny thing is, you go back in time, and people said Hank Jr. wasn't country music,
true,
so it
true.
happens, just like
Yeah,
people, from one generation to the next, like have their like blinders
set
on, and
people,
and
right?
this is country music, nothing over here, just what's in here. And then
Yeah.
the next generation is like, no, I like some of the stuff over here, but I like some of the stuff over here too. And so it's kind of just continued to expand, which I think is great for the genre as a whole. But you're
Mhm.
always going to have some people. I mean, we don't knock anybody except for Maren Morris. Uh, but
And Beyonce.
and well, she's not even country, so like that doesn't even count, right? But no, I mean, there's definitely some artists that have come out over the last even 10 years where I'm like, I don't know about that. I know you've got a couple that anytime they come on the radio or on the Spotify or something like that, you're like, hmm.
We've talked about this on the podcast that I went through a big stint. I loved country music growing up. I loved older country music. I loved the 80s, the 90s country music, but then like peeking into early 2000s, I strayed away from country music because I fell into that stigma, I guess, where I thought that if you weren't wearing a cowboy hat and cowboy boots and singing about riding, roping, ranching, hard work, country stuff, that wasn't country music. If you're cruising up and down Broadway, like that's not, you know, country music to me. So,
And what were we doing a week
I can
ago?
what's that?
I said, and what were we doing a week ago? Cruising up
We
and
were
down
cutting
Broadway.
No, we were cutting through Broadway. We went through Broadway. We didn't go up and down. We shied away from that. But yeah, I can definitely see where there's some people that get a stigma of like that. I was like cowboy hat, cowboy boots, George Strait, Tim McGraw, Alan Jackson, like Johnny, all them back in the day. Like that was country. And then you fast forward to where people were wearing backwards ball caps. I mean, I wear a backwards ball cap, but you know that's just how it was.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, you've got uh you're always going to have your traditionalists. And we kind of went down a rabbit hole, and I was just kind of trying to make a small point, right? That, Josiah Siska really kind of went viral crazy with one of his songs that is more of a line dancing song. And so there's going to be some traditionalists that are going to be like, oh, that's not country, Three Tequila Floor, which went absolutely bonkers for him. And
2 million streams for them.
yeah, and the amount of views is even bigger than that from all the TikTok dancing trends that went on. I know I saw a thing with him before where he was talking about like they were doing it in Korea, and they were doing it in Japan, and they were doing it in Africa, and he was seeing these videos and like, what the hell? How in the world these people don't even speak English, and they're like dancing to my song and singing along to the words of it. But if you were to say, hey, what's your name? They wouldn't understand what you're saying to answer the question because they don't speak English.
I think that's where TikTok too kind of blew up for a lot of artists. That I mean, that Dasha, she kind of got famous off of a dance, and it kind of took it away from her, at least with a lot of our fans, and people that we know. Like it was kind of standoffish, like, oh, she's only famous because she had this dance.
Right.
But then when we seen her, I've talked to other people, when you see her in concert and see her range of other things that she does besides that dance, and she doesn't even do that dance when she sings that song.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, she's actually really good, but she got pigeonholed of doing a dance, and that's how you kind of got that's how you got noticed. But I wouldn't say that's how you got famous. That's how you got noticed, and then your talent gets you famous. So
Yeah. Well, and
even though he
oh,
Yep, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think that a lot of people don't do like I do, where I hear you, and if I hear a good sound, I'm going to look for other stuff, to really see whether it's a one off. Because there's artists that I found like that where they've got a song, and I'm like, oh, that sounds really good, and then I go listen to more of their stuff, and I'm like, oh, everything they do is auto tuned and has backing tracks. No thanks. Moving on. Um, so, I don't think a lot of people take that time to say, like, oh, here's this viral Three Tequila Floor, line dancing song. Let me go listen to more of this dude that's just that one snippet. That's what they take and run with, and that's it. But I feel like that the guy is hugely talented, has an incredible voice, and is far far better than a line dancing song, if that was kind of all you saw him as.
Raise my hand to that one. Sorry, Josiah. Like I did fall into that when Matt, kind of we kind of throw around these artists that we find and like, and we'll throw it back to each other. Like, hey, what do you think of this guy? What do you think of this girl? And we'll go back and forth. And when Matt threw me over to Josiah, and it was like, oh, the line dance one, and I was like, all right, like I'm gonna do what Matt does, which Matt's pretty obsessive, and that's how he gets to where it is with the music. It's a good thing in the end because he saw something that a lot of people don't see, and hopefully we're going to highlight that here on this podcast. Is that get over the line dancing song. The dude's voice, like, is insane when it comes to that deep, sharp voice and just overall talent. Like, and those line dancing songs, they're kinda catchy, like,
Oh,
I was playing
certainly.
it, I was playing it, the other day, and I look over at the desk, and Tasha's sitting here kinda like and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, you like this?" And she's like, "I don't know who it is," but she's like, "I'm grooving to it." I was like, "You wanna line dance?" Like, so
Right.
it's a good song, and if I'm in the honky tonk and that song comes on, I mean, I might get out there and do a line dance or 2, but it's funny that those songs got him to where got him out there. But if you go and listen to him, it's like, oh my gosh, like he's so much better than that dance. Like,
Yeah. Well, and for the people that do the TikTok and other social medias, he has been a part of the 615 house, and definitely, people know him from that. If they follow the 615 house, if you don't, you should. It's a great place to find kind of
oh yeah,
newer, up and coming folks. They tend to highlight stuff.
yep.
Maybe one day we'll have a like social media house in Nashville, and we'll put all these people on the map. Who knows? Uh, but he's his newest song too is also another line dancing song, Do Si
Do
Do,
si do, baby.
that just dropped in March and is already taken off again,
Hmm.
like his last one. And that's the only thing that really concerns me, right? Is that going to be all
What
people?
he's known for.
Right. And at some point, right, that if you're putting out all of this other music that's absolutely great, right? You go listen to Three Chords at a Time, is a great song. All right.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah, phenomenal song.
not a line dancing song at all.
No, no.
But I worry sometimes, will an artist start to fall into something that they kind of created unintentionally themselves, right? And so,
Sure.
kind of like, when we do our videos, when we have one that pops off and does really well, it's like, okay, why did that one do well versus this one? Do I need to do more of that to get where I need to go? And I worry that artists might do the same thing. Like, okay, so the first one that was kind of a line dancing song popped off. Now this one is. So do I need to write and record another line dancing song?
He doesn't have to. That's kind of a Sam Hunt. He's kind of the similar. He got his most popular song was like the one where he just is talking,
Yeah.
where he's talking. And I absolutely, it's like he's got a good voice, but I hate the talking songs where you're just talking and then you go into a chorus and sing. And I was like, dude, you're so good at singing. Like, just do that. But he did one, and that was really popular. Then he did some other stuff that didn't pop off like it. And then he went back to that and he's recorded a couple of them now. And it's like, yeah, I guess you kind of have to do what's working for you
Right.
in order to get there to where then eventually you can maybe get to a level to where you're like, all right, I'm not the talking musician anymore, or I'm not the line dancing musician anymore. I mean, Ella Langley, we've talked about her for years beforehand, how super talented she was. It took her doing a talking song that she did as a joke
Right.
in order to really pop off and get to where all of a sudden now everybody's like, oh my God, she's so talented. And it was like, she's always been so talented. It just took that one video to get her out there,
Yeah.
kind of like hopefully. And that's, I'm guessing, why Josiah kind of switched back and did this Do Si Do, because his first song, that's what really got him traction. And now he's trying to do it again to get back up there to where people will be like, all right, you're way more than what you are with the Do Si Do and with the Three Tequila, to where, hey, recognize the talent. So
Yeah.
we
Well,
here at Y'all Need Music recognize the talent for sure of Josiah. And we're telling you guys better go and check him out too.
right. Yeah, and if you're a traditionalist and you hear one of those two songs and you're kind of like, oh, not this, I ain't listened to this, go listen to something else. Like, I do that with artists all the time where it's like, give them another chance and see what else they've got. Maybe, hell, I always go back to Jamie Johnson is, my all-time favorite. No secret at
Oh,
all.
really?
But then think about Trace Adkins, Honky Tonk Badonkadonk. Okay. And that was written by Jamie Johnson,
Jimmy Johnson.
Dallas Davidson, and Randy Houser. And nothing about that song says Jamie Johnson, Dallas Davidson, or Randy Houser. Went on to be a huge song for Trace Adkins.
Yep.
Many would argue that it's not a country song. Uh, you know, Certainly not in the realm of anything that Jamie Johnson is known for anywhere else, right? So if you heard that and somebody was like, "Oh, Jamie Johnson wrote this," and you didn't go look at any of his other stuff, you might be like, "Oh, well, Jamie Johnson's a turd," and miss out on like absolutely incredible works of art that the guy has put out.
You
You cut out for a second.
said never judge a book by its cover when it comes to that.
Oh, absolutely. And so
Yeah.
I tell people that with artists all the time. And for me personally, like, I don't care if you've got like Josiah's got, 63,000 some odd TikTok followers, like 70 some thousand Facebook followers.
Yep.
Like, that's great. Good for you. I found a guy the other day on TikTok that has 1,000 followers and was just scrolling. And I was like, holy crap. This guy is talented. So you never know, right? You can't just think like, oh, if they don't have a bunch of followers, at some point, every one of them, you know, had
0 or 2 followers.
right. I mean, we sat at 800 followers for better part. I mean, it took us 2 years to get to 800 followers, and then it took us 2 months to get to 87,000 followers. You just never know what's going to do it.
You don't know what's gonna pop off and what's gonna trigger this silly algorithm, to get viewers and stuff like that, so but yeah, I would definitely say, yeah, don't judge this book by the cover. Don't
No.
judge it by the line dancing. If you guys do like line dancing, I mean, they are actually 2 really good line dancing songs
Right.
that he put out. But he's so much more, and there's so much depth to him. One thing too, I was telling Matt about this. He's a Blake Whiten to me, where the look and the voice like are two separate
Yeah.
things. Like he's long hair, kind of cowboy looking, but yet has this deep voice. He looks like he's a younger guy, but has
Yeah.
this voice of you know
Someone much older.
65-year-old Randy Travis, yeah, much older. And then it's like, wait, that's him? Like, whoa, how is that sound coming out of that guy right there? But, definitely definitely has a voice that you guys are going to want to go and check out and do a little deep dive. Just don't hit his top, streaming songs when you are checking them out, because they are going to be probably, Three Tequila and the Do Si Do are probably his most popular songs. But
Well, Three Chords at a
like Matt,
Time is still his number two song.
is that
Uh,
number two?
yeah,
Yeah,
but I
that's a
imagine
great song.
as I feel like this new Do-Si Do is going to continue climbing and probably pass that. But the dude, he's a songwriter too, which is always, kind of a big deal to me. I want you to write songs, play an instrument, and sing. That tells me that you're really freaking talented.
Superstar,
and
superstar.
and he's actually played that Key West Songwriters Festival that we heard about a couple years ago, and every year I'm like, oh man, we really need to go to this, and then
Yeah.
we just heard about a songwriters festival in Belize, and it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's like, oh,
Wait, what?
and you guys will hear more about that one too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just crazy to think of the talent this guy has. He is still a younger guy, so he's got a lot of road in front of him. But just absolutely incredible voice, and I think his voice is one of those ones that transcends like old country and new country, right? It's one of those that bridges that divide. And I feel like people that are hardcore old school traditional country are going to love his voice, and I think that the new country people are also going to love his voice. So he's kind of got a lot going for him in that sense.
Times when we find new artists and we kind of dive in, what my process of it is, Matt will send me somebody and I'll look them up on Spotify, and I'll just hit play and it plays their top songs, and I'll go through them and I'll listen to them, and I'm not gonna lie, there's some artists that I'll skip over, like, all right, this is too slow, or it doesn't match the vibe, like, and I'll skip over it. This is one of them where when I went through and I listened to, and then I went through the whole discography of him and like started like listening to stuff that wasn't on his top 10,
Yeah,
and started listening to the songs that, maybe haven't popped off for the algorithm or whatever, as far as people listening to him, and listen to pretty much every song that he's ever done that he has on Spotify.
yeah,
Then went to YouTube, looked him up, and started watching a couple of his videos that he's done. Went back to Spotify, hit play, and I just let it play, and it played for like 3 hours. And every time I was like in and out of the office or something like that, it was like on, and it was a song that it was like, as I'm doing my work and stuff like that, it was like, "Yep, I like this song." Like, I don't have to like, "Hey, what song's playing? This, I don't like it. Let's turn to a different one."
right.
And same thing with Tasha. She sat there the entire time and listened to every song that he played. I told you she was bobbing her head to a few of
Yeah.
them, like, but she was never like, "What are you playing?"
Can
or
you
like,
skip?
"Turn the station, skip," or anything like that. And it played, and it played the entire way through, and then like played through again. And it was like every time I went into the office, or if I was there, it was like every song that came on was like, "I like this. I like this." And so super good. If we're gonna do this, you did this before on a new artist spotlight. I'm gonna do it back to you. Favorite song?
To me, three chords at a time
Yeah,
is
yeah,
absolutely incredible with the story that it tells, right? And
yeah.
and you gotta listen to it to really,
Hmm.
really get it. And I'm not gonna spoil it for anybody.
Yeah,
But it's one of those songs
yeah.
that
You guys
you
got to go listen to
you
it.
can hear it and it's a great song, or you
Yeah,
can listen to it and it's a phenomenal song.
it's
Right.
true.
And
Mm.
there's a difference between hearing a song and listening to a song. And that's one that you got to listen to.
You can hear a lot of songs, and that would be a line dance. You hear it, you
Yeah.
don't really listen to a line dance, but he's got that both worlds where he can hear it and listen to it. So
Yep.
yeah,
Absolutely.
that's a great song. I'm gonna go because, like I said, I went deep diving into him and just kept liking and liking and liking, and so I'm like, I'm gonna listen to everything. It's a little off the wall on this one, Mr. Grinch.
Oh, yeah.
He did a couple Christmas songs, and
Yep.
I'm a Kenny Rogers Christmas junkie. Like, Christmas time and Kenny Rogers are synonymous. Like, that's all I listen to. And I seen that and I'm like, all right, I'll give it a listen to, and especially the Mr. Grinch one, because that's like a deeper voice and he has a deeper voice.
I'm Team Alabama Christmas for the record, though.
That's a good one too. Yeah.
I grew up on that.
But yeah, but you're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. Like, his deep voice, like, I was like, boom, dude. He could have been like, he could have played that for the movie, like with
Yeah.
Jim Carrey, and like I'm like, holy cow! But then he did a couple other Christmas songs, and it was like it had that feel of the Kenny Rogers. I mean, Kenny didn't have the deep voice like him, but just
Selling the
the
Christmas songs.
the feel of it. And I was like, all right, dude, this guy, like, you already got, you got the line dancing songs to get the people moving and grooving.
Yep.
You got great lyrics and great songs, for telling a story. And then you just hit the Christmas, like boom, you just hit a trifecta in my book.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think you were a sucker for Kevin Thomas's Redneck Christmas too.
I was, I
Yeah.
was. I like the Christmas tunes. Like, it's something about it.
Yeah.
So
Well, make sure you guys are hitting up all of his socials. Give him a follow on Spotify. Subscribe to his YouTube. Check him out on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all the different social media sites. I
it's
could,
Josiah Siska official.com if you want to check out his website.
yeah, and you know what? I better double check this before I'm gonna make myself look bad and lie here. Let me does he have any other shows on there other than the one that I mentioned?
No, on his website, at least, that's where I looked it up, and he has a tab that says shows, and I clicked on it, and it only had one listed, which is really weird because it's not till the middle of July, but maybe it's just not updated on there, and that's what we're trying to figure out with him. Because
Was that the same show that I was telling you about that was on his website?
yes,
Okay.
yes,
Okay. I was say
yep.
when I looked originally, there wasn't anything on there, and I actually found that one on Bands in Town. So
Oh, okay.
for those of you
Yeah, that
that
was on his website. Yep, that's the
okay,
only one.
so for those of you that are in Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, especially, Illinois, even, Western Pennsylvania, if you want to go check this guy out live, the only show that I could find for him upcoming is July 18th at Diamondback Music Hall in Belleville, Michigan, which is just outside of Ann Arbor, like Ypsilanti area.
Yep,
So not a
yep.
far drive for the people from Toledo or, even Indianapolis, Fort Wayne, Chicago. Not a terrible drive at all. I'm actually looking forward to try and squeeze that into the calendar schedule for ourselves, and we've got another one the day before that, and it just utter chaos this summer. I think we're going to call it the summer of music again and try and break some records.
The Diamondback Music Hall, for anybody that knows, formerly it was the Diamondback Saloon. I've actually been there personally, just to see like a cover band and stuff like that. But it's a really cool venue, and we just checked out like the new upgrades that they've done to it. They switched it over to Diamondback Music Hall.
Yeah.
It's the same like structure inside, but it's completely redone. It looks freaking awesome. So I loved going there. Back in the day when I lived in Ypsilanti, going to Eastern Michigan, my older brother used to go there all the time, because he was a country music fan. And to be honest, in like the Ann Arbor, Ypsilanti area, that wasn't like a popular thing. So they used to go to the Diamondback Saloon all the time. So super cool that he's coming there. It is one of those things. They actually do line dancing classes there, so it's kind of right up his alley with some of his songs. That I
Yeah.
bet you the classes that they teach there, they probably play his songs. So
Oh, for sure.
you might have a full on like a music video right there going on the floor.
And let me just say, ticket prices absolutely incredible.
Yeah,
Early tickets, like pre-sale right now, you can get tickets for like $11 plus fees. So it's
$15.
yeah, you can't beat that, you
Yeah.
know. So To me, it's worth. For me, it'll be about a 4-hour drive, and I'll make the drive to see him. I think he's that good that he's worth a
Yeah.
4-hour drive.
Well, wants to go, if they do sell VIP private, like, tables right up close with bottle service.
Yeah,
You know, you gotta have at least four tickets for that, so, Matt and I cover 2, so anybody out there that wants to, take the, take us at the VIP, I mean, we're all for it.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, at any rate, we're going to wrap this one up. Again, Josiah Siska, JosiahSiska. Josiah Siska on all platforms, and JosiahSiskaofficial.com for the website. Check him out everywhere you get your music. And if you like him, tell him Yelny Music sent me. Right? Sounds like a good idea to me.
Doing as much as we like them. Make sure you guys are checking out that Belleville Diamondback Music Hall, July 18th.
Absolutely. And we'll catch you next time on
Y'all Need Music Podcast.
Later.